up southern Illinois, of course, fishing the rivers and such, but never had an opportunity to fish these lakes, and trout fishing is just unique.
You spent the weekend in a double-decker fish house on the ice, catching walleyes through the floor. What kind of looks do you get?
You get a lot of, what?
There's almost a spiritual presence with all those old trees.
Funding for this program was provided by the Minnesota Environment and Natural Resources Trust Fund, Safe Basements of Minnesota, your basement waterproofing and foundation repair specialist since 1990. Peace of mind is a safe basement. Grand Stay Hotels, featuring 35 hotels in 8 states and growing. Every guest, every time with Grand Stay. More on the web at grandstayhospitality.com. Diamond Willow Advanced Care Assisted Living, providing custom homes with smaller settings designed especially for high care needs. Live Wide Open, telling stories of why people have chosen to live wide open in West Central Minnesota. More at livewideopen.com. Western Minnesota Prairie Waters, quietly beautiful and wildly connected.
You know, it's about getting healthy and reconnecting. What better place to do it?
The Minnesota DNR manages around 180 lakes for stream trout. But those aren't the only opportunities within our state's borders to catch rainbows, brookies, and more. Tucked back into the woods on the Red Lake Nation is a collection of small lakes filled to the brim with hungry fish. And while Red Lake may be known more for walleyes, more and more people are finding out that this is a good place to come to for trout.
30 seconds of fishing, we got our first fish right here. And I didn't even have this little spoon jig all the way down to the bottom, and this rainbow just came up and smashed it. And you can see he's even kind of hard to hold on to right now, and that's what makes these fish so much fun. But you know, just a beautiful, beautiful fish in a beautiful setting like this. It's gonna be a good day out here. Pretty excited. So we're just getting started here. We've already got a couple of fish on the ice, a couple of rainbows and a brookie, and we're in about 35 feet of water. And then we've got another guy set up in about 7 or 8 feet of water, less than 10 feet, that's where he caught the brook trout. I think you can find fish kind of cruising around all these depths. You'll find them throughout the water column, but we're gonna try in this spot right here because we listened to our guide and he said he caught fish here yesterday. So that's what a good fisherman does, right? Go where the fish have been caught before.
To take advantage of this opportunity, you need to purchase a license and hire a guide. Our guide today is Darwin Sumner.
Right now we're trout fishing, and only our trout lakes are open in the wintertime. We got 4 that actively fish for trout in the wintertime. We not only got these lakes here, we got 35 other lakes back in the wilderness area that we close off October 31st. Let's catch that fish first. Let's have a moment.
Oh, I missed him. He's still there though, but.
Oh, there it is, okay.
Well, we
nice.
moved.
Oh, that's a nice one too.
Another rainbow, whoa.
Nice.
Well, we moved over to this spot, Darwin, to get a little bit shallower to look for the brook trout.
Yeah.
But we keep finding rainbows over here.
Yeah, nice rainbows too. That's about the second one in a couple of minutes there.
These lakes are stocked with rainbows and brook trout.
Yeah, the band manages, and we put 2,500 in there each spring. But they grow awfully fast in here. They got really good forage base in here. They got shiner minnows, fatheads, freshwater shrimp, crayfish. Really good foragers. They eat pretty good here. Oh, no. There he goes.
No.
Good catch and release though. Good conservation.
That's how it goes.
up to wherever I see the orange flash and then go a little bit up past it. Going slow for you.
No. Oh no.
Boy, I've fished all over the place, but I've never fished. Grew up Southern Illinois, of course, fishing the rivers and such, but never had an opportunity to fish these lakes. And trout fishing is just unique, and that's one thing, you know, they offer year-round up here.
I've fished up here with Darwin a number of times along with my friend Jamie Dittman, and I've never had a bad trip.
It's been a pretty good day, Jamie.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of trout right away, and the sun came out.
Yeah, I was worried about today. When I looked at the forecast and they were talking about right around single digits, right around 0, I was like, man, it's gonna be brutal out there, but this is nice.
Oh, it's nice. We had 22 below this morning when we started, so
Balmy.
it's gained a lot of degrees today.
Yeah, I didn't think we'd be fishing outside as much as we have been, but this is beautiful. I mean, not a cloud in the sky, no wind.
You know, even if it was windy, you're tucked back, there's nobody around. It's really neat little lakes.
How did you find out about this originally?
I met Darwin at Camp Confidence, an event there, and
He said, Jamie, you gotta come up and fish some of my trout lakes.
yep, real lakes, yep.
The real
Nice one. 15-inch rainbow. Size you got there, Jamie?
We're in about 28 feet here. I had a gold spoon on and switched to glow pink and orange. Little tingler spoon, and had a few of them look at it, and this one finally hit it.
Ooh, look at that mark. Oh, I'm spooking him though. Oh, here he go. Oh, he's coming hard. There we go. Ooh, that's a good one. Not the brookie we were looking for. We got a rainbow over here. Yeah, so hard to grab. This is what makes them so much fun to catch. There we go. Just came up and hammered it. So much fun. Mark showed up on that little tungsten that we were hoping to catch a brookie on. But we ended up catching this feisty, angry rainbow on it. But fun fish to catch. Not bad, not bad. Can't complain. What'd you think about that ride in?
It's pretty, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty deep snow. I was hoping we'd make her.
Kind of start to wonder where the heck you're going after a while, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I think that's the best part about it. You get back here in the woods, you're kind of off the beaten path, and you kind of feel like you're in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly. Yeah, it's nice. Like the last frontier up here, that's for sure.
Well, the guy over here that was catching all those brookies that we were talking about is my nephew, Dan. What do you think so far?
This has been a ton of fun. You know, it's something new to me, and it's a blast.
You've caught brookies before.
Yeah, but not through the ice.
Well, earlier when I was fishing this hole that Dan's in right now, I came over here to catch brook trout. I ended up catching nothing but rainbows. And I didn't know this. I mean, we fished together a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Your whole life.
Right.
You never caught a rainbow.
No, I've caught everything from lake trout to cutthroat trout in Idaho, Brooks Browns all the time, but never a rainbow.
Well, that's going to change today.
Yeah.
So we brought this with today. You drill a hole, stick this in your hole, keeps your fish alive. Hey, we got our fresh trout in there. And they go right in the frying pan tonight. But it's called an ice well, and it's pretty slick for this stuff.
Dan's been in here catching brookies, never caught a rainbow, so I came in here, we swapped spots with him, and I caught a rainbow in his hole. That's the way she goes, bub. That's the way she goes.
But Dan was determined to get one of those rainbows to bite, and it didn't take long for him to get it done.
These lakes are put and take lakes, right? I mean, these aren't naturally reproducing in here, so you want people to come up and catch them.
Yep, there's a 5-fish limit for each one, you know, combination.
Oh, he's got
I'm just having fun watching these guys catching fish out here.
There's a large amount of satisfaction a person can find when the stars align and a group of friends can have the time of their lives in a wild setting that really isn't a long drive from anywhere.
So one thing we like to do here at Prairie Sportsman is give our hardworking camera guys a chance to get out from behind the camera and have a little bit of fun too. And when we're catching all these fish like this, it's nice to let these guys have some fun. And Max got his first fish today out here on the lake. He's behind the camera right now. And Dylan got your first trout today.
Woo, yeah.
Tell me about catching that fish.
Well, it was pretty exciting, Brett. You know, after getting in there and going to we went to 4 or 5 different holes, nothing was happening. And
Well, Darwin was working real hard, following you all around from hole to hole, trying to get you on that fish. And finally, I'd given up hope, Dylan. I was like,
I thought
it's a lost cause. This ain't happening. And all of a sudden, I started hearing you hooting and hollering over there. And, man,
yeah, they really do put up a fight.
Well, nice job.
Hey, thanks, Brett. Appreciate. Well, I'm flattered to be
Glad
here.
to see both of you guys get your fish today.
Woo,
we did it. A lot of fun. Come fish with Darwin here up at Red Lake for stream trout. You won't regret it.
Real MVP.
It's a rush. It's that natural high, I guess I should say, that, you know, that thrill, that rush, and do it in a good, clean way, you know.
I built one back in '87, a smaller version of this.
So here's an example of one of the old trees that you're going to see here at the Lost 40. I don't know what the diameter of this tree is. It's huge.
Red Lake, the largest in Minnesota, is an ice fishing mecca. During the winter, villages emerge with ice houses ranging from one-room shelters to small luxury homes. Rising above them all is a double-decker ice lodge. It's one of a kind. On Martin Luther King weekend, the double-decker house is hosting several families who are longtime visitors.
My husband and I have been coming here probably for about 17 years, but this particular cabin, the last 3 years.
Spend a lot of time here, not only ice fishing, but in the summer. Have a lot of fun, great group of people.
It's become kind of a family tradition amongst everybody, and more people come. Now we're renting 1, 2, 3 houses around us, and it's been a great experience. It's very unique, as you can see, and you will not find another one.
When you talk to people and tell them that you're in a double-decker, you spent the weekend in a double-decker fish house on the ice, catching walleyes through the floor, what kind of looks do you get?
You get a lot of, what? And are you sure? You know, there's a little bit of confusion when you try to explain that how large it is. No one quite comprehends.
We have been bringing our girls ice fishing forever, and some of the other cabins are completely rudimentary and just 4 walls, maybe a table, and a rickety little bed that you get to sleep on. And they come here and we have this nice table, we have a refrigerator, microwave, and if people want to go upstairs, there's a TV also in the stairwell that we can watch TV on as well. Great speakers, so we can Bluetooth into that.
This is like family, you know, even though we're different families, but we're all family, so it's a lot of fun together. So playing cards, playing games, teaching kids how to play poker, you know, the good stuff. Last night we had a fish get off. It swam underneath the hole. We had flashlights underneath the hole trying to get this fish. We did not get the fish till this morning, and it was 21.5 inches, so it was pretty cool.
We sleep with about 10 people upstairs in the fish house, and it seems kind of crazy, but it's actually really comfortable. And usually the party animals stay up, and so you don't hear them snoring till the middle of the night, so yeah.
Earplugs are my favorite device to have upstairs when we're all kind of sleeping together. It can be tricky. If, like for instance, the rattle reels go off, that's kind of a fun thing in the middle of the night. Some people enjoy it, some people don't.
20 holes in the house. Which one is the hot hole?
Whichever one I'm not fishing in.
Who's caught the most fish?
Brody.
What's your secret?
Wash the Vexilar, feel for the nibble.
He's the only one that actually fishes.
Just wait for the rabbit reel.
Yeah. We all play games and then wait till we hear a little bell jingle. We just listen for the cranks of the line.
How did you find out about it?
Funny story. I was driving by on my way. My brother and I were driving out up to Baudette, Minnesota to go fishing on Lake of the Woods in the fall, and driving by Hillman's, I looked over and I saw the frame being built, and I immediately called. I said, "What is going on over at Hillman's there? What are they building?" And that's when I found out they're building a double-decker house. I called my wife immediately. I said, "Hey, what weekend would you like to go?" She said, "MLK weekend." So immediately called before it was finished. Said, "I want that weekend every year until for the foreseeable future."
The idea for the double-decker came from Buddy Hillman, one of the third-generation owners of the family's fishing and lodging business.
I built one back in '87, a smaller version of this. But that was in the years when the chipboard was big. Found out that doesn't hold together quite as long as it should.
Sure.
Lasted about 6 years and fell apart. And I was always going to build one because it was always popular. But
When you told people, "I'm going to build a double-decker fish house and put it on the ice," what kind of reaction did you get?
my dad wasn't big on it. Let's just make a bunch of small ones. I said, I think everybody will come and check it out if we do it.
There she comes. Get out of the way.
This house is probably not the easiest to move around the ice. Do you pretty much park it in a spot for the winter?
No, we move it for every customer.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
How easy is it to move around?
It's not real easy.
Dedication right there. Talk about what this house is made of, what it consists of.
2x14 in the wall, or 2x4s by 14 in the walls. It's all spray foamed. It's all tin inside and partly inside and outside. We had an old cabin out back, and we went and got the door out of that and built it to fit.
And obviously a lot of people power their fish houses with a generator, which is what we're doing right now. But you have something a little bit unique to a fish house on your porch that's on your fish. It's the second level porch that's on this fish house. Has solar panels on it.
I wanted to be a little self-sufficient because not everybody has a generator.
So what can you power with the solar panels here?
Actually, the TVs are run off the solar panels, and all the 12-volt lights are all solar panels. It has 4 double beds and 4 twin beds, so it can sleep up to 12 people. There's 2 heaters. This one is just one for when there's no electricity going. The other one is vent out the wall one.
How long did it take you to build it?
I started it on September 15th, and we got done it first of the year. A lot of sitting around looking and pondering where stuff was going to go.
I bet.
Lower and Upper Red Lakes combined cover 480 square miles. All of the lower and 60% of the upper are under the jurisdiction of the Red Lake Band of the Chippewa. And the remaining waters are managed by the Minnesota DNR. Hillman's is on the east side of Upper Red in the small town of Waskish.
My grandpa came over here from Norway in 1913, and he homesteaded north of the lake, and eventually ended up buying a gas station in 1933, and that's when he started the resort. And then in 41, we moved where we are now.
The Hillman family's business includes the Tall Tales Tavern that features setups, live music, and a few tall tales.
The guy that helped design everything helped build the first 12 famous Daves. We just decided it was going to be called the Tall Tales Tavern. We had to have some tall tales, of course. So we had to. There's a few legends like the Sasquatch, Jake. So he did that, and then of course freshwater sailfish.
And that sailfish, you did actually catch that sailfish.
I did.
And that was in 12 feet of water right over here?
Yeah, right over here.
it's just more of a calming experience. Like, you're out in the middle of the ice, so all you really get to do is kind of come here and spend time with family, and you're just completely out of the rat race.
It's fun, and fishing is a bonus. I tell Buddy every time, hey, I absolutely don't care if we catch fish. We come out here, have fun. Fishing's a bonus.
Probably keep coming back here with my kids, just because it's a really fun place, and my whole family comes. It's a tradition that we've had forever.
I think I love most just the camaraderie of the friends. Everybody likes to catch fish and fish, but I think just hanging out with really good people and really good friends, I think, is the best thing.
There's almost a spiritual presence with all those old trees. When you step in the forest, you just kind of go, oh, wow, this is really nice.
A hike through the Lost 40 Scientific Natural Area is like stepping back into the 1800s, before loggers started cutting down our oldest trees. Today, we can experience this untouched piece of wilderness because someone made a mistake.
When the Public Land Survey came through in the 1880s, we don't know why, but for some reason this area was mapped as part of a wetland or as part of nearby Coddington Lake. So when that land was divided up for things like logging rights, this area was never logged. It was corrected on the survey in the 1960s. And at that time, it was added to what's the Big Fork State Forest. So that's the state forest part of the land that's here. And then soon after that, it kind of was known that it was special. It was old growth forest, and it was added into the S&A program in the 1990s.
All right, so here's an example of one of the old trees that you're gonna see here at the Lost 40. I don't know what the diameter of this tree is, it's huge. But this is about that 120-foot tall, 250-year-old tree. You hear about it, you read about it, you see pictures of it, but when you see it in person, you just realize just how big these trees are. It's amazing just how far up. I can't even see the top of the tree. Anybody have a telescope I can borrow to see the top of it? It's very cool, and there's a couple of them right along the path here that you see right away when you get into this thing. You get into these big old trees. It's pretty cool. So I've got a question about this right here. When this tree fell, did it make a sound?
That depends on if anybody was in the forest or not. So
I bet it made a big sound because that's a huge tree.
that's a big tree. So that's one of the old trees here, fell in a windstorm in July, I believe it was, of 2018. Kind of gives us a nice up close. You can see the tree standing, but being able to walk up to them like that gives you a different perspective on how big these trees are and what the life cycle of an old forest like this is.
And this would have been a white pine?
Yes.
How big do you think this tree was?
Wow. This was probably one of the bigger ones, 100 feet.
They're very good hugging trees.
I can't get my arms all the way around it. Oh, it was a good tree. Good job. Keep up the good work.
The pines are definitely what it's known for, but we also have big spruce here, we have big aspen, big birch, big trees.
The huge trees are awe-inspiring, but there's a lot more to see on the Lost 40's 1.9-mile loop trail.
So you'll see things like marten, fisher, we've had bears, lots and lots of birds.
There's anything from, large grouse and deer or different large animals down to there's these small little plants on the forest floor called ground pine or lycopodium. So they're these tiny little, they almost look like miniature conifers, miniature pine trees. There's things all the way from the tiniest things on the forest floor all the way up to the tallest trees.
Not only does the SNA protect that old growth forest, but it also protects a landform called an esker, a pile of gravel and debris that was left after the glaciers retreated. And just like that surveying error protected the trees from being cut, it also protected the esker from being mined. Historically, forests like this would have changed. They weren't always the same looking like they would be today. And the big factor in that was fire. And so when the logging era came through, one thing that stopped was historic fires that would have come through, cleansed the under part of the forest, opened up gaps for new species and trees to come in. And this area hasn't seen fire in over 100 years. So we are talking about, well, do we need to reintroduce fire? What do we need to do so that when these big old trees do eventually die, and they will, how are we going to guarantee that that next generation of forests comes up for us to have?
The Lost 40 may look different in the future. Generally, white and red pines don't live past 300 years. But it will always be a protected habitat for generations to enjoy.
There's always something to see no matter what time of year, whether you're here in the summer and can see some of the more migratory birds coming through or snowshoeing in the winter, there's always something to see.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a 10.
Funding for this program was provided by the Minnesota Environment and Natural Resources Trust Fund, Safe Basements of Minnesota, your basement waterproofing and foundation repair specialist since 1990. Peace of mind is a safe basement. Grand Stay Hotels, featuring 35 hotels in 8 states and growing. Every guest, every time with Grand Stay. More on the web at grandstayhospitality.com. Diamond Willow Advanced Care Assisted Living, providing custom homes with smaller settings designed especially for high care needs. Live Wide Open, telling stories of why people have chosen to live wide open in West Central Minnesota. More at livewideopen.com. Western Minnesota Prairie Waters, quietly beautiful and wildly connected.